guys, this is Pedram Raufi from Gerchik Co and you're watching the markets analysis of this week. We're going to check the situation on the stock market, on the Forex market, and of course, at the end of the program, we're going to check the price action of Bitcoin and Ethereum, like cryptocurrency main assets. So before everything, maybe we're going to start from some news background, which were kind of really rich during this week. One of them was kind of circulating around Taiwan and the Nancy Pelosi visit of the Taipei, which made China kind of aggressive about it. But as we know, even despite all of those um, missiles launching or something like that, which some news channels are actually telling about, stock market doesn't really react. So that's really funny. Let's go and check the situation on the stock market of United States, and we are actually going to start today's program by the technical analysis because news background is kind of unuseful. It's kind of rich, but it's really unuseful. So situation with the stock market of United States due to the S&P 500 is kind of getting weird because we had retested the mirror level 4,100, 4,200, and we actually have to get ready for reversal. This reversal is not happening yet, but it's going to happen. So 4,200 is actually getting retested in the near future. And as you see the mirror levels here, and as you actually can pay attention, we are going to get some divergence here. We can actually get ready for some divergence. Due to 1 hour chart, I think that this divergence is already happening. So divergence between maximums and the line of RSI. It is the same situation on the Dow Jones. We just need to check it. So situation on the Dow Jones Industrial Index is kind of the same because we have this divergence between maximums of the day and the maximum is actually 2 days and the line of RSI oscillator. Due to the 4 hours chart here, we have the retest of a mirror level of a really important resistance of 3,300, we can say 3,200. So be careful, we are going to get reversed. And let's see what is going on with the high-tech index, which have been rising already like a real bull. And the main reason is that, as Goldman Sachs said yesterday, um, markets are kind of getting ready for a Federal Reserve System monetary policy changing because they don't believe that Federal Reserve System of the United States is going to hike the hike the interest rate or tighten the monetary policy in the near future because I don't know how, but I told it about it and I actually told about it like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, that the situation on the job market is getting worse and worse. And because of that, Federal Reserve System won't have a chance to continue the tighten monetary policy. But anyway, it could actually continue it. It could actually make it a little bit tighter, hike the interest rates in the near future. But these would be the last steps of the hiking interest rate. So just get ready for reversal again. For a short term, and then maybe we could see the continuation of the upward movement. But for now, for today, the impulsive retest, lowering of the amplitude near to the mirror level, and the next impulsive upward movement in a really bad zone of a high volatility, as we see. That's a zone of high volatility because that's a zone of a mirror level actually. Doesn't really give us a good guarantee for a continuation of the down upward movement. Because of that, I cannot say that you can be that sure about this movement. So you are getting for the reversal, going to get it. And situation with the dollar index, so we're going to check it after we check the um, economic calendar of today. As we see today, we are waiting for some releases from Britain, which is an interest rate hiking, which is actually going to hike by 0.50%, which is a really high. So sorry. This would be a really historical high amount of interest rate hiking. This would be a really high level of interest rate hiking in the future due to the British uh, history of banking. This type of monetary policy tightening haven't been seen yet. So this is a really, uh, as we say, strong tightening of monetary policy. You have to pay attention. So pound could get kind of maybe pumped further and rise further. Don't even despite euros, for example, weakening. If it's real, we are going to actually check all of this. But pound is kind of could really get power, could get pumped further. And for tomorrow, what we have actually for tomorrow we have non-farm payrolls, which are really important, and unfortunately they're falling. They are falling, not so good. So unemployment rates not changing. That's a really bad thing. Unemployment change in Canada. Employment change. I'm sorry, employment change, which is rising. That's a good sign actually. EV PMI for Canada, that's not changing. That's actually falling. But I think oil prices is under pressure, so you cannot actually be that sure about Canadian dollar rise because of oil prices are under pressure. So here is dollar index. And as you see, this was the reversal about which we talked with you, that there would be a reversal, prices would be try to rise again. But here again, we got divergence and a downward movement. That's actually strengthening, could be a strengthening. So for now, we cannot say about not short position, not long positions. Anyway, we should get ready for the continuation of the consolidation. Then actually, this consolidation could get wide, as this, for example. That's not a really good sign. That's not a really good sign of the continuation of upward movement or downward movement. But I think that Federal Reserve System in the near future could makes things a little bit harder for you because they would tighten the monetary policy further. They would talk about the tight monetary policy in the near future. They won't stop it in the near month, I think. And they would, for example, stop it within some month, yeah, within some weeks. But for now, dollar really got a chance to rise further. So we have to really be careful. The dollar, 106, 105 are the levels inside which we could think about selling. But if you are above those levels, don't really sell dollar and don't buy stock market because stock market kind of really on a high potentially it's kind of retesting the highs because due to the impulsiveness and due to the potential of the price action, it cannot continue this upward movement. Don't have to continue this upward movement. Let's see what's going on with euro, pound, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar. So euro prices consolidation 1 hour chart. Let's see what's going on the 4 hour chart. Downward movement was so sharp. You could be a little bit sure about the continuation of this upward movement, but I'm really suspicious. I think that we are going to get dumped from 1.020. I think that we are going to get dumped from 1.020 or 22. Okay, so maybe you can see get the maximum 1.022, 1.024 would be the range after the retest, which you are going to get dumped anyway. So I cannot be that sure about the midterm continuation of the buying positions. Midterm continuation of the long positions really is not guaranteed. We are going to get dumped. I think we are going to get dumped from 1.22, 1.24. So we are going to get dumped. That's what she said. Okay, and here due to the price action of pound is kind of really powerful because it's actually near. It's actually closer to the resistance of the mirror level, and it's kind of above it even. It's kind of above it. 1.22, 1.2240. I think they could get retested. So price of pound actually could continue the upward movement. Due to 1 hour chart here, we have a potential for pound. We don't have any divergence. So pound could really get kind of, could really show a different tendency because euro is not actually going to show it, but pound could really kind of show it. And here's a channel actually about which I want to talk about. This could be a channel because of this. I think that maybe the retest of the local maximum is something that's going to happen in the near future. So 1.22, 1.2250 are the levels that are going to get retest. And let's see what's going on with the Australian dollar. The same situation, but the Australian dollar as well is kind of above the mirror level. It's really, the prices are above the mirror level. 0.7 is a psychological level after the retest of which I told you that prices are going to reverse. So this reversal happened, but prices again are going to retest this psychological level. It means that markets are kind of really don't know where to go, and they're waiting for dollar to, to reverse at least and continue to fall further. But Federal Reserve System for now doesn't really allow us to be sure, to be really sure about it, because you cannot be. So 0.70 is a level that I don't think that is going to get breakthrough. It could get breakthrough, but prices are going to reverse afterward. Don't be that. I'm not that sure about the continuation of upward movement, even for Australian dollar or New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar is already getting really impulsive. Due to 1 hour chart, we can actually see that's a really impulsive movement. Don't even, despite all of this, accumulations, like, I'm sorry, despite all of this consolidations which you have here, this movement is really impulsive. And I think that 0.63 is already the maximum. So for me, 0.63 is already the level from which we are going to get reversed. 0.6350, I don't think that we are going to retest. 0.63 maximum 30, and we have to get ready for reversal anyway on euro, pound, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar. Let's get to the energy market and see what's going on with gas, with oil. So oil prices, as we said, they are not so happy. They're kind of falling further. They've already made the impulsive retest of local minimum of 92, as we said. But prices shows that kind of we have the consolidation here, and this downward movement could continue. So we actually gave you, like, for long term, if you remember, 88, like $80, but those levels are really far. And for now, we can say about, for example, 88 maximum in the case of the breakthrough of 90. Yeah, and this breakthrough could be realistic in the near future. We don't have any signs of the price action continuation, despite the oscillator, which could get inside the selling zone, which could make prices to actually fall further. So here we have potential of the downward movement, but is it going to get realized? I don't know, because downward movement was so impulsive. So maybe that was a speculation before prices getting starting to rise. But in the case of dollar prices rising, oil won't rise. So here there is a suspicion that we are going to get a really mild upward movement in a channel, which could be really uh, like consolidated. And the gas prices, we are going to check natural gas prices. The rising actually of the prices have been started, but the rise is really impulsive. So we had retested 750 as we said from previous time, and this upward movement is really impulsive. But despite this impulsiveness, I think that upward movement could continue. 850 and 9 are those levels that could get retested in the future. And in the case of those levels retest, impulsive retest, they could actually get into a consolidational long-term and mid-term consolidation movement like here, for example. In the case of prices rebounds and get to 750 again, we could actually got a better chance for next buying. So if prices in the near future fall, you can actually use it for as an opportunity to get into the bullish market again, because gas is not going to stop its movement to the highs. United States dollar and Canadian dollar, which are the really good correlation, showing the really good correlation between United States dollar and oil prices. Dollar is not rising, oil as well, and that's the situation which we have here. So could dollar start to rise? Dollar would kind of rise, and oil prices could actually make some downward impulses. So here we have a chance of the speculative retest of 1.27. It's a really far level, but I think that it's going to get retested anyway. We have a convergence, it's long-term convergence, but that doesn't really matter because we are not rising after the finishing of this pattern. We are not actually rising. Rising, it means that to get above 1.30 at least, 1.2950 at least. So here we can say surely that we are not actually rising, and mostly we would wait. Then we could see the impulsive retest of 1.27 in the near future. United States dollar to Mexican peso. Impulsive downward movement, which won't give you a chance of the continuation of this movement. Because of that, we have just the chance to wait for prices to stop this downward movement. We have such a mirror level or mirror range here, 2020 and 2040. And before we get under this range, we don't have to be really sure about the continuation of downward movement. This range could get retested, but I don't think that prices are going to stuck under this range. So let's get to the commodity prices. We're going to check the gold, silver, maybe palladium and platinum prices. Would be interesting. Gold and silver actually kind of reacted on the different things previous months. They reacted on the war a little bit. They reacted on the monkeypox a little bit, and they kind of reacted on the China's crisis. But it's not showing that there is any kind of risk on the markets because, as you know, if China wants to invade Taiwan, it's going to do it like this. And as you remember, the Hong Kong, it happened like this. So that's not the thing. China and Western world are not going to ruin their relations like that. China is not Russia. China got a brain. China think before do anything, and this is not going to ruin actually relations with the United States, and Taiwan is just, like mostly like a thing that they just blown it up, and because they blow it up, they just like it's just like getting important around the world. It's not such an important thing. It's exactly the same thing as Armenian crisis with Azerbaijan. It's exactly the same thing as, I don't know, not important crisis. That's not the Ukrainian crisis, as we can say, because the Ukrainian crisis is a really hot thing. It's kind of getting nuclear, getting related to food crisis, getting related to energy crisis. Ukraine crisis is a really important thing. Taiwan, come on, Armenian crisis. Those are not crises. So here we have the gold on a 1 hour chart. Impulsive upward movement. I don't believe that it's going to continue to rise. $20.50 for silver. Maybe could get retested, but I don't think I think that we are going to get dumped. $20.50 even is not realistic. I don't think that's going to get retested. It could, but it won't give us anything. It's the upward movement have already started. So if you used it, yeah. If you didn't, here we have a really good resistance. 2030. It won't let you to get to 20. I don't think that the local maximum is going to get retested even. Here we have palladium prices. And due to the 4 hour chart and the impulsive downward movement, palladium could continue to rise. That's not gold, that's not silver. And speculatively, market just made itself get into the bullish phase again. So they just speculatively shove the prices to the bottom, not to the bottom, but to the middle of the channel, and they are going to get into it again. The bulls are going to get into the market very soon. So palladium is a really different story. Palladium is a really way different story. That's exactly the thing that is nowadays related to. Actually, it was always related to the chip makers industry, and it's under sanctions. And one of the most important palladium exporters is Russia, which palladium is under sanctions. And because of that, palladium is not really under any pressure. Speculatively, they like make prices to go downward, but that doesn't mean that they're going to continue the downward movement. That's a speculative thing. It finished. Now we're going to get into the upward phase. So get ready for it. So the platinum 900, retesting again. I think that we're going to get dumped. 920 is not realistic. I don't think that we're going to even retest it. Maybe, but it won't give us anything. That's a mirror level. That's the important mirror level of 920. So I think that we are going to get stuck under 920, 900, and even if we rise above it, this kind of low amplitude doesn't give you anything, because as well 900 will break it. Yeah, we break through it. We are rising above it, but amplitude is really low. And as I said, if we break through any kind of mirror level of or important local maximum or minimum, if after that we get a low amplitude, that's a real sign of a reversal. That's not a sign of a continuation of upward movement or the continuation of the whole trend, after which we got a broke up. So here I don't really believe that prices are going to rise, especially because of this impulsive movement here. They are not going to rise, they're going to actually reverse and fall a little bit, or maybe get into consolidation again. So USD dollar to CHF. Franc, Swiss franc. Yeah, it started to rise after the retest of local minimum, as we said. We said that prices are going to retest the local minimum, but they are not going to continue downward movement. The only reason is that we have the convergence here. We had it, we show it to you for previous time if I don't make mistake. And prices started to rise. So here actually we told you that this kind of situation is going to happen. But here we are actually near to the Fibonacci middle levels of this impulse. So get ready for reversal. Get ready to get into some kind of consolidational movement. Dollar could start to rise a little bit. Gold maybe, but in this case, this pair is not going to rise or fall. It's going to get into consolidational movement. It's not going to fall that much, but it could get into a consolidational movement. So USD to JPY. What is going on with JPY? Yeah, rising again. Because we have retested the really important support. 130, it's psychological level. 132 was actually the target. As we say, the target support. So before we get under 132, 130, we have a potential of the continuation of upward movement. If we get around these levels again, this won't be a really good sign. If we get inside the range of 130 to 130, that won't be a good sign. So we just need to get further rise above them. But because of this low amplitude, I cannot be that sure about the continuation of upward movement. If we get really impulsive, retest the 136 in the near future, this would be a really worse signal for buyers, after which prices are going to continue to fall actually. So 136, 134 as well, the other range of local maximum. If we retest them impulsively because we get a really high accumulation of energy here, we got a previous impulsive movement. So next impulsive movement could be a really speculative thing, after which we're going to get a reversal or we're going to get into a consolidational movement. Be careful. Bitcoin prices. 24,023, as we said, and 25 is a local maximum. Due to the 1 hour chart here, situation is kind of getting weird. I'm going to be pro bearish trend, and you have to pay attention that that's a really important level of 20, maybe 22,000, above which we have a really low amplitude. So 23, I'm sorry, it's 23,000. So above 23, you have a really low amplitude, prices are not rising actually, and because of that, I will say that even we are going to get impulsive upward movements in the near future, that won't mean anything. Prices are going to fall further. Ethereum prices. 1,800 have been retested, 1,600 now is retesting, and I think that prices are going to fall further. 100,000, 1,400, 1,200 maybe, but 1,400 is next, I think, target for sellers. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe on our channel and ring the bell so you won't miss any shows and programs on the channel. Don't forget to check the official site. On our official site of Gerchik Co .com, you can actually find different type of packages, interesting packages for traders, for beginners, and for experts, by the help of which you can optimize your work, optimize your trading. We've got different type of courses and different type of instruments for your platform and for your trading on each of those packages, and they actually got a really good sell-offs on each of them. You can actually use them. So don't forget to check this information on the official site, and wait for you till next time. Have a good tradings. Bye bye.